This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, one and all. Today I would like to explain one more topic belongs to the coordinate. That is how to interface different devices to 8051. So in the previous presentation, I was explained how to interface keyboard and LCD. And today I would like to explain about the how to interface RAM and ROM memory and ADC and DAC converted circuits to 8051. Okay, because sometimes this ADC and DACs are for some microcontrollers, they are on chip, but some 8051 microcontroller based chips don't have the on chip ADC and DACs. That's why here we need to learn how to connect this ADC and DACs are connecting externally to this 8051 microcontroller, and this RAM and ROM also. Here sometimes is not sufficient to operate uh, some applications. That's why here we need to connect this RAM and ROM externally. Okay, so now, so to explain that, so we should understand the differences between microprocessors and microcontrollers. So see here, this point is very important. Microprocessor is having Van Neumann architecture and microcontroller is having Harvard architecture. What is the difference between Van Neumann and Harvard architecture? So in the Van Neumann architecture, it has only one memory unit. Means RAM memory and ROM memory will be operated through the same address lines and same data bus. But whereas in the case of Harvard architecture, program memory, that is ROM memory, and data memory, RAM memory, is having its own address and data lines. Okay, that is the difference between Van Neumann and Harvard architecture. So here you can see that here ROM is separate place and RAM is also placed in separate place. But in the case of 8086 architecture, if you see, we will see outside of the chip, we will see only here memory interfacing. But in the case of 8051, we are having both RYM RAM and RYM RAM separately. So these are the lines which can call the both RAM memory and ROM memory through the address and data lines. Okay, so that is what we call the Harvard architecture. So now a maximum of 64 KB of program memory and data memory, and each can interface with 8051 microcontrollers. So what is the meaning of this? 8051 is having 16 address lines and 8 data lines. So data always will be called, means will be transmitted or will be received in terms of 8 bits. But whereas in the case of the data which is stored in the memory can be called through either 8-bit data or 16-bit data, because here we are having through the address lines. So these address lines are here 16 address lines. What is the meaning of 16 address lines? So total 16 address lines can form the 2 power 16 address spaces. Okay, and those called memory locations. And 2 power 16 is equal to 65,536 or 64 kilobytes of memory. Right. But if you see this diagram, 8051 is having on-chip 4 KB memory and on-chip 128 bytes of memory. Then remaining, if I consider RYM memory, remaining 60 KB of ROM, of it can be interfaced with 8051. That must be can be connected outside of the 8051. That is what we call the external RAM or external ROM. Right here also, RAM is a temporary memory. It is used to hold the temporary data. So only we are taking 128 bytes. Suppose you want more memory than this 128, so that can be connected externally. Okay, so that is what is today's topic. Right, so here I have given how much on-chip ROM, how much on-chip RAM, how much off-chip ROM, and how much off-chip RAM. Okay, and here suppose program memory or data memory means here take for example our mobile phones, we are connecting externally these memory cards, right, to save the user data or some apps on the memory cards or somewhere on somewhere, then how it can be connected. So how this memory may be operated through P0, right? So this P0 means port 0. So this port is called as the input output port, and this port is connected through address lines, and here we are connecting through port 2 also. Why port 0 and port 2 only connected to here memory? If you see the next diagram also, here also it is connected, port 0 and port 2 is connected to RAM and ROM. Why we are connecting? Because if you see the pin diagram of 8051, here port 0 is having 80 to 87, and port 2 is having A to A15. What is A indicates? Address lines. D indicates data lines. This is called multiplexed address and data lines. Okay, so in the case of memory interfacing, especially memory means these memories can be called or can be transmit, can be receive the data through these address lines only, right? So if you want to use your complete 64 KB of memory, then we have to use the this port 0 and port 2. What is EA? So if you see the pin diagram here, EA stands for, right, EA stands for at pin number 31, right, external access, right? So that's why here we are connecting EA to ground. Why EA to ground? Right, because EA bar means logic high, so then it can access the external ROM, right? ALE stands for address latch enable. So in the port 0, AD0 and to AD7 means address lines and data lines are merged, so they are operating through single lines. That's why here if AL is 0, data lines, if AL is 1, address lines. That's why here we are taking AL through latches, right? Now, so this latches concept I will explain the pin diagram, and the port 2. So port 2 gives A8 to A15 addresses. Then I can call the 64 bytes of memory, right? So PSEN stands for program store enable. So this program store enable is helps us to call the data from this external ROM memory. Okay, so that is only how to call. Now, I want to read the data from either internal memory or external memory. Then EA bar must be 1. If EA bar is 1 means here, if EA pin is 1 means EA bar equal to 0 means inactive. What is inactive? External memory is inactive. Then data will be called only from the internal memory, right? If EA bar is 0, it does not read any data from internal memory, it will read the data from the only external memory. Then the external memory will be taken from 000H to FFF, means complete memory will be called as 64 kilobytes of memory will be called from externally. Okay, whereas in the case, this is also one more diagram how to interface RAM memory and ROM memory. So here P0 and P2 are connected through these lines, and P0 and P2 means P0 means AD0 to AD7, P2 means A8 to A15. Right. This is the read and write signals. How to read the data and how to write the data. Read and write signals are related to RAM memory, and PSEN is related to ROM memory. And one more, ALE is connected to both RAM memory and ROM memory, because ALE is to highlight the address lines whenever it is equal to 0, because it is ALE bar they are giving here. Okay, so this is the interface between RAM memory and ROM memory with 8051. But how can we operate? So this RAM memory and ROM memory can be operated through the instructions. So here how to write the program? So this memory, RAM memory and ROM memory can be called by using this MOVX and MOVC. MOVX is used to call the data from RAM memory, and MOVC is used to call the data to write the data to or from the ROM memory. That is called code memory, right? So C stands for code. X stands for external RAM memory. So these are the instructions we are taking to call and read the data from or to RAM memory and ROM memory. So here I can explain through this diagram also. So we use DPTR. What is DPTR? DPTR stands for data pointer. Data pointer used to write or read the data or addresses in terms of 16-bit. Program counter. PC stands for program counter. So this program counter helps us to call and read the data to or from next address of the next instruction. It is also 16-bit. So PC and DPTR both are 16-bit. So here this internal and external RAMs are using MOVX A comma at the rate of RI or MOVX A comma at the rate of DPTR. Okay, so this DPTR gives the 16-bit address, and at the rate of RI gives the 8-bit addresses. This may be 8-bit or this may be 16-bit, and these addresses are formed here in terms of ROM is by MOVC A comma at the rate of A plus DPTR, MOVC A comma at the rate of A plus PC, and here these addresses may be 8 bits or 16 bits in terms of DPTR and PC. PC helps us to give the address of this instruction. Current instruction can be called by using at the rate of A plus DPTR. So this is the memory interfacing, how memory can be interfaced with 8051. And here I have given that one more practical diagram. So this is 8051 chip, and this 8051 is having clock generator, right, reset circuit, and EA bar. EA bar is nothing but external access must connect to ground. Then this decoder is having 13, 14, 15 of address lines, and through this only it is going to the RAM memory and ROM memory. And here this AD0 to AD7 and port P to A8 to A15 are used to connected to different ROM chips. These are called as latches. Okay, one ROM IC or can be connected by 8 bits. That's why here we are having CS. CS stands for chip select. Okay, and here these are the different latches which are connected to address lines or data lines. D0 to D7 is coming out as the output, and this line goes to both RAM memory and ROM memory, and A0 to A7 connected to both RAM memory and ROM memory. A8 to A15 is connected to both RAM memory and ROM memory. But here read and write signals through P3.7 P3.6 is connected to only RAM memory, because RAM is the main intermediate IC or a circuit connected between ROM or hard disk to processor. Okay, that's why here reading and writing is the responsibility of RAM memory. So this is what we call the memory interfacing with 8051. Okay. Now we will see one more ADC and DAC interfacing. ADC and DAC interfacing with 8051. So ADC stands for analog to digital converter. So this is the example of analog signal, and this is the ADC IC, and it is converted to digital format, means zeros and ones. Right. For example, you see, suppose a person is singing the song, right? His voice or a speech signal is received by this mic, and this mic is connected to electronic circuit, which can be in terms of analog signal, and this signal is flow through ADC, analog to digital converters, and this circuit converts digital data analog to digital data, and this digital data will be converted into in the form of digital data is connected to DAC. DAC stands for digital to analog converter, and analog signal is given to speaker. This only can be listened by the listener or the receiver. Why? Because in nature there is no digital data as the direct input. We have only both input side and output side in terms of analog in nature. But for more accuracy, for more advantage of this digital formatted data, we are converting analog to digital conversion and digital to analog conversion. Okay, so this is the study we are going to do now. Right. So here you can see that one more. Right. Here human being is singing song that is which is in voice signal or speech signal or a sound signal, and that is connected to ADC, and this converted to digital, and that is stored by the digital system or a computer. And again this digital he will have some output jobs or output point, and that is connected to a speaker through this DAC only. Now also I am here I am speaking something. Suppose for example my voice is an analog signal, and this is received by this headphones. These are called as the analog signal receivers, and it is connected to the laptop somewhere. This is called digital system, and where it is connected, it is connected to ADC, analog to digital converter. Why? Because whatever I am speaking now is stored by this laptop inside of the laptop. But you know that this laptop is also a computer system or a digital system, and here again this data is stored inside of this computer after processing, and then that will be stored in terms of MB or KB or GB of data, right? So we know that B bytes, which is called as digital. Now after that, whenever you want to listen that, then we will that media players will show our image and our sound signal, right? This image and sound signals outlook on the display device is called as the digital to analog conversion. Okay, this is so this is the analog signal, and this is the digital system output and stored by the digital system, and analog right converts analog voltage into some of the ADC chips which are 03, 0804, 0808, 0809, and there are many more chips. But out of all these different chips, right, in the industry they are using 0808 and 0809. So my explanation is also in terms of these two chips of ADC and D. Definite number of values, levels or states, which can be measured in numbers as physical quantity. Instead of continuous conversion, ADC converts data periodically, which is usually known as a sampling rate. Because here we are following right sampling, quantization, and encoding. These are the three techniques to convert to okay. Sampling means it follows the sampling theorem. What is sampling theorem? Fs is greater than or equal to TFM. So what is Fs is greater than or equal to TFM means at least the issues this discontinued into will be. I'll show you first. Right, will be converted into different samples here. These are all samples, and these samples will be quantified. What is quantization? Quantization is defined as the process of converting the continuous amplitude into a discrete amplitude, means discrete signals, discontinuous signals amplitude. Thus by then the signal will be true. This is the example signal. Okay, where so telephone DC, which is used for internet, it converts analog data into digital data so that computer can understand, because computer can only understand digital data. The major advantage of using ADC is that our noise can be efficiently eliminated from the original signal, and digital signal can travel more efficiently than analog one. This is also one of the very important one. And digital signals are also very clear while listening compared to analog signals. Okay, but today's most of the 805 microcontrollers having inbuilt ADCs, and nowadays we are using some of the 8051s are using don't have inbuilt ADCs. That's why we are using external ADCs. Okay. And these are types of ADC: successive approximate ADC, delta sigma ADC, dual slope ADC, flash type ADC, and pipeline ADC. This is a part of integrated circuits and application subject. There I have studied. Now I want to introduce one, that is successive approximation ADC. This is the mostly used ADC in the industry. So in this successive approximation ADC, we are following this technique or logic. So now here we are having one input in analog input, and that is passed through sample and hold circuit, and that is applied to one op amps. This op amp act as a comparator here. This also a subject we have to study in ICA subject, how operator op amp can act as a comparator. Now this op amp is having two inputs. One is from the usual analog input, another one is coming from this DAC. DAC stands for digital to analog converter, and this analog signal and this input signal will be compared with. And here, if VDAC, if this VDAC is greater than this VN, then this bit will be reset to 0 and next bit will be 1. So that's why it is becoming 0 1 0 0. If this VDAC is less than VN, then this bit will be as it is transmitted, and next bit will be set to reset. If it is 0 to 1, if it is 1, it will be 0. That's why it is becoming 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 0. To understand this logic or algorithm, how it is converting, right? Here we are having one DAC, and this DAC means digital to analog, and this analog signal is also applied to this comparator. This VN is compared with this VN analog signal, and this VN analog signal compared, and if this VDAC is greater than V input, then the first bit will be reset to 0 and next bit will be reset to 1. If it is 1, 0. If it is 0, it will be 1. Right. Otherwise, if VDAC is less than VN, this bit will be transmitted as it is, and this bit will be reset to 1. See, for example, now I am having this input in the DAC, right? So this is the digital output. Now once again, this digital output will generate one VDAC. If this VDAC is greater than this VN, then what happens? Right now, this bit won't be changed. This bit will be reset because this bit position is here, but now this is the second position, so we have to take care about this one. This one will be reset to 0 and next bit will be reset to 1 because this is 0 but this is 1 and it is reset to 0. If VDAC is less than VN or VN is greater than VDAC, this one will not be changed, but this one also will not be changed like this one. Right now, second bit will be changed to 1. Okay, so this is the algorithm, and here also I have given a 3-bit. Right. Suppose if this VD is less than VA, this won't be changed, but this will be reset to 1. If VI is less than if VD is less than VA, then what is? VD is greater than VA. This bit will be reset to 0, and this bit also will be reset to 1. Okay. So this is the algorithm internal it is following, and this is the ADC pin diagram. So this ADC pin diagram is having 28 pins total. So 14 pins left side and 14 pins right side. So this ADC is having 8, it can handle 8 inputs. That is IN0 to IN7. So IN stands for input and 0 stands for first one. So IN0 to IN7. So 8 inputs it can handle. So to handle these 8 inputs, we need 3 selection lines. So these are the 3 selection lines A, B, C. Right. That's why they're called address B, and address C. So here address means right here. This is the address 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1. So like that here IN0, IN1, IN2, IN3, like that it will be select one input. Okay. So next, if it is start of conversion from analog digital, then this pin will be 1. If conversion is closed, analog digital conversion is over, then this bit will be 1. EOS end of conversion will be 1. Right. Output will be generated, that will be known by this output enable. So to run this, we need one clock source, and this clock source we can take it from 8051 also. VCC is power supply. V reference and V reference are required to generate the staircase or step output and ground signal. And here it generate 8-bit output, so that is called as the 2 power 1 to 2 power 7. So 2 power 1 to 2 power 7 is nothing but 8 D0 to D7 are called as data lines, and ABC are called as analog channel selector lines. OE is called output enable signal. AL is called as address latch enable. So here this addresses can be enabled by using this ALE called address latch enable. Like what are the applications of this A to D? Right, this A to D conversions we are using digital storage, oscilloscopes, microcontrollers, and digital power supplies, and this is the connection ADC and ADC to 8051. You need to remember the signal should not goes from 8051 to ADC, ADC to 8051, because 8051 is a microcontroller which is a digital circuit. So here it is ADC, analog is the input and digital is the output. So the signal outputs are going to 8051. Okay. And these are all once again in detail explanation. And this is the algorithm. So an analog channel is selected by giving bits to ABC addresses. Right, as I have shown in this right, in this ABC 000000101011, so it will be selected. Next, ALE is activated by low to high pulse in order to latch the address. So start of conversion is activated by a low to high pulse in order to start the conversion. If a high to low output is obtained at UOC end of conversion, it indicates that the data conversion is finished and the data is ready. OE stands for output enable, is activated to read output data from the ADC chip. In order to bring the digital data out of the chip, a low to high pulse is given to the OE pin. Okay. So this is also one more algorithm I have taken from some other source. The same step I have taken and see now. Right. If the input is 0 volts, then it will be displayed as 00H, means 8-bit hexadecimal number. 1 volt, right, 33H, 1.5 volts, 4DH. Between 1 volts to 1.5 volts, the numbers in between 33H to 4DH. See here the higher value is 3, higher value is 4, 6, 7, 9, B, C, E, F I am taking. Okay, so here values are increasing from 00H to FFH, and here also we are increasing the analog voltage from 0 volts to 5 volts, but I am not taking all the available values from 0 volts to 5 volts. Means suppose 0 volts to 1 volt. Why it is 00H to 33H? Because I am taking directly 0 volts to 1 volts. In between 0 volts to 1 volts, I am having so many values. Okay, 1.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, like that I can have so many values. Right. So why analog to digital converters are required? Modern day electronics is purely digital. So gone are the good old days of analog computers. Unfortunately for digital system, the world we live in still is in analog and full of colors, not just black and white. So for example, a temperature sensor like the LM35 outputs a voltage dependent on the temperature. So in the case of the specific device, the 10 millivolts per degree rise in temperature So for that, here I am taking, for example, how to measure the temperature from the outside wall, right? So this is I am taking as a temperature sensor. So see here, I have taken only one application, and this one application output goes to only one channel. So like this 805, this analog to digital converter can have 8 different types of inputs. That's why here for our computer or for some other, suppose you take outside music systems also, they will be connected by different 8 types of mouths or mics. Okay, then it can handle any input from any mic. So like that, this temperature sensor is connected to one channel, and this A20 converter will receive the analog signal and will be converted to digital format and is given to, right, and is given to D0 to D7, this data, right, P1.0 to P1.7. Right here they are giving a two-way, but it is only actually one-way communication from P1.0 to P1.7. Right, then it is reading or writing the data is depending upon this reading and writing of end of conversion or start of conversion. Let's see here, D0 to D7 are connected to only this 8051, but this diagram is wrong little bit. Here they are giving two-way arrows, but here we have to take only one side arrow, that is D0 D7, which are called as B0 to B7 are binary values, only goes to 8051. Okay, this arrow should not given to this edge, then it is wrong. Complete diagram will become wrong. And here it shows whether we are having the knowledge or not on this topic. And now here how to select this one, right, which channel is connected and which channel is highlighted will be known by this selection lines. So why it is coming from this 8051? Because these three selection lines are highlighted by binary 0, binary 0, binary 0 2, binary 1, binary 1, binary 1. From where it is coming, we will have some programming inside of this 8051 memory, and that will be executed to select any one channel based upon this channel. Like that, here the channel 2 is connected, so here we have to take the 010. Now this 8051 and this 08089 need some clock, so this clock is connected by a common clock, and this is the clock generator circuit, and this clock generator circuit will be designed with the help of flip-flaps. Okay, you know that applications of flip-flaps is nothing but registers and counters. Now here you can see that why we need V reference and V reference minus in the pin diagram of in the pin diagram. Here you can see that V reference minus and V reference plus. So V reference minus is connected to ground and V reference plus is connected to some voltage. So for example, assume that V reference plus is connected by 5 volts and V reference minus has been grounded with 0 volts. Then step size will be 5 volts minus 0 volts by 2 power 8 equal to, this is the equation, V reference plus V reference minus V reference by 2 power n. N is the number of bits, right? Either 8 bits or 16 bits, like that. It will gives the what is the minimum voltage for each conversion. See, this is called a step size. Okay, here like this it will have, and this step size. What is the step size of this voltage? Either high or low. Okay, so that will be calculated by this equation. Right, for A reference plus V reference minus V reference by 2 power 8. Right. So here you see this is the analog signal, and this analog signal will be discontinued with the help of sample and hold circuit, and they will be quantified. The nearest values are quantified as a logic 0 or logic 1 using this quantization technique. And encoding means based upon the number of zeros and number of ones gathered together, that will give the either 001, 010, 100, like that. Then that is known as the encoding technique. Okay, here we will get the encoding output. Okay, so here logic to communicate between 8051 and ADC08 stepwise we are having. So see the port you connected to the output lines of the ADC as an input port. So here make the port connected to EOC, and then port connected to start and port connected to ALE, and wait for signal to get high again. Extract the converted data by sending high to output enable, that is the conversion has been completed and the output is ready to received by the 8051. And this is the program here. So first we have to take the origin org000h means starting address to write the program means this is an assembly directive. So every program must be start with org and must be end with end, and in between we will write the program. So move p1 comma hash ffh makes port 1 as input port, that is all are 1. Next set bit p2.7. What is p2.7? Right, so if you see here, what is P2.7 is INTR, right, and it is connected by is connected to 8051, and P2.7 is connected to make EOS end of conversion, and CLR P2.4 clears ALE address latch enable to get A, B, C selection lines, and clear P2.6 clear start pin, because set bit means EOC bar, ALE bar, start bar, and OE bar. So all these are here, it will be clear actually, and here they will be set. Yes means ALE bar means 1 bar means 0 bar means 1 means active. So these are all, these three will be active. After performing the operation, EOC will be active. Okay. Now, so back clear P2.2 clears ADC. ADC DC means address line C will be 0. Now we are giving 1 1 0 as the input. Means sixth line or the seventh channel will be activated. So set bit P2.1, that is sets ADDB. Right. Next clear P2.0. See here, C is 0, B is 1, and A is 0. So 0 1 0, it selects 0 1 0 means channel 2, as I have shown in the temperature sensor connected to channel 2. So that will be connected through this program, right, like this. Now it will delay the call. It will call the delay. Next set bit P2.4. Now sets ALE high. Why sets ALE high? After setting the address, then ALE should not be work. Then call delay. Then set bit P2.6. Send a command to start conversion. Next set bit delay, the A call delay, and clear P2.4 and clear P2.6. It start and ALE will be 0, and then this program will be executed like that to convert analog to digital conversions. Now I want to explain DAC interfacing with 8051. Right, so here this is the equation to convert digital to analog conversion. V0 is equal to V reference into D0 by 2 plus D1 by 4 plus D2 by 8 plus D3 by 16 plus D4 by 32 plus D5 by 64 plus D6 by 128 plus D7 by 256. Like this it will be converted. So this is called 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, 2 power 6, 2 power 7, and 2 power 8. We are converting into 8 bits to analog signal. Okay, this is the equation. V0 is equal to, V0 is nothing but analog voltage is equal to V reference. We are taking a reference voltage. With that reference voltage, it will be converted to equivalent output voltage. Okay. So microcontroller are used in a variety of applications, like for measuring and controlling of physical quantity like temperature, pressure, speed, and destination. In these systems, microcontroller generates output which is in digital form, but the controlling system requires analog signal as they don't accept digital data, thus making it necessary to use the DAC. So we use DAC, digital to analog converter. So here also I am using a digital to analog converter 0808 IC. Right. So if data is 00H, analog voltage must be 0 volts. If data is 80H, then with V reference must be 10 volts. Then here it is equal 00 is 0 volt, 80H is 5 volts, and FFH is 10 volts. Why? Because we are taking digital data in the form of, right, digital format, that is 8 bits digital formats in hexadecimal 00H to FFH. So for that, if the digital data is 0H, that indicates analog data is 0 volts. If digital data is FFH, then the output will be 10 volts. And so this is the DAC 0808 IC pin diagram. it is a 16-bit, but in the case of ADC 0808, 28 pin IC, but it is 16 pin IC. Why? Because in ADC 0808 is having 8 inputs and 8 outputs. But here we are having 8 input lines, whereas only one output line at 4th pin. I was transfer. Output current or V0. This pin can be run by using this VCC, and this V reference and V reference required V reference and V reference positive reference voltage